Cosplay is basically a fandom. It can be anything from purchasing a costume online to creating your own costume from scratch and anything in between.
Basically, to sum it all together, just bringing your favorite fandom to life.
We've been cosplaying together for almost 6 years. I started first, and when Dhareza saw how much fun I was having dressed up in my favorite costumes, he decided to join me, and the rest is history.
Cosplay is time consuming, we'll put it that way. If depending on the technique that you're using, yes, the difficulty level raises, but at the end of the day, it's the one constant thing is time. When we plan a cosplay out, there's a lot of research that goes into it. There's a lot of Googling, there's a lot of printing out pieces of paper, there's just a lot of planning, and then after that, it's just planning out what materials to use, what kind of paint you need to buy. I mean, at the end of the day, there's just so many options, and the fun part is trying to figure out which piece works best for us.
It's this long road that can last months sometimes, and at the end you have this beautiful, badass piece of armor or sewn costume to put on, and you can just look at all your hard work and you're so happy and excited to jump in for the first time.
Yeah, after all those months, a lot of money, a lot of tears, sometimes blood, but it's all worth it in the end. The two most popular materials to use are Worbla, which is a thermoplastic, and then foam. I love using foam, and Becca loves using Worbla.
Worbla is pretty quick for me to put together, and it's very versatile and it's very form-fitting for me, so that's why I like to use it. I pattern out my breastplate or my bracer or whatever piece of armor I'm making on myself, so it's going to be perfect fit. Then you cut your pattern off of you, and then you cut those pieces out, and then I transfer those pattern pieces to a thin sheet of foam commonly known as craft foam. So then I have this nice craft foam pattern piece, and I will replicate that onto Worbla. And then I take the Worbla and I wrap it around, I heat it up, and then I'll, drape it on whatever body part I'm making my armor for and let it cool. And that takes a couple of minutes. And then I have a nice plastic piece of armor that I can start building details on top of. I also have some things I'm making this year that involve quite a bit of sewing, which is not my specialty, but I'm making it happen. So I'm learning as I go and trying new things, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. I love using foam because one, it's inexpensive, and two, as a guy, you want to kind of look bulkier and bigger, and foam is just perfect for that. And the option was either 100 hours a week in the gym or foam. I chose foam.
Of course.
You take away the heat gun, you take away the expensive knife. The most important part, the most important tool to working with foam is this. This is a pebble. This is the pebble. It's not just a pebble, it's the pebble. This pebble is responsible for over,
a lot.
Wow, over 100 costumes. What it does is it starts creating a more organic looking shape on the other side. So if you're trying to have these cool looking muscles and you don't have 50 hours of the week to go to the gym, just pick up a nice soft rounded pebble outside, rub the back of it in the foam, and it starts to just curve out a little bit.
So this year we have a brand new Wonder Woman as Superman costume that I will be wearing on Saturday, and this is the breastplate that I have created for it. It
goes on like this.
Gonna sit just like this, and this is the bodysuit that I will be wearing underneath this breastplate, and it will go like this. That looks nice on you.
I think we're gonna switch.
Yeah, I think we should switch. While you're wearing that, I'm gonna be wearing this.
So this is my gender bent Wonder Woman. perfectly modeled by Becka.
I'm stuck.
You know, the day of the convention is the most important day. That's game day. That's, you just spent hours upon hours, hundreds of hours making these costumes. And now it's all about, you know, getting it out there and having people see it, getting it photographed, getting it videoed, and seeing your friends.
It's a cool experience to be a character that's been brought to life for somebody who potentially loves that character.
Kids legitimately think that you're that character.
They know the characters too. And these kids are still like, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and you're just like...
I inject myself into every character I make. It's, you know, it's partly because there aren't that many Asian superheroes out there, so I have to figure out how to put myself into that character.
I get asked all the time, like, do you feel like you can't cosplay something because you don't look like that character? And my answer is always immediately no. I've never felt that personally, because I feel like Wonder Woman is everybody, and I'm not going to change the way I can't change the way I look. So, you know, if I love a character so much, then I can cosplay that character.
Wearing armored cosplay definitely makes you feel like a legitimate superhero.
When I put on Wonder Woman, like any of my versions of Wonder Woman, I feel like I'm 7 feet tall, and like I am this Amazonian, and like I can conquer the world.
I mean, you can't help it, right? You put on the full armor, you're standing in the middle of some street, and you just have to do that pose, and you ignore the 100 of cars that you're just blocking. Sometimes you just have to do that.
Cape blowing in the back.
But yeah, it gets you into that mindset. The moment you put that thing on,
yeah, it feels different.
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel
sure.
different.